So in 5.NBT.5, we're being asked to fluently, that means quickly and accurately, multiply multi-digit whole numbers. And this is very important. This is the only time, this is the first time you were specifically being asked to use the standard algorithm to multiply. In third grade, when you start, you're just learning all of the different ways to understand multiplication. In fourth grade, you're introduced to lots of different strategies for two-digit numbers and one-digit times multi-digit. But now is the first time you are specifically being tested on your ability to use the standard algorithm, which, for large numbers, is the quickest and most efficient way to multiply multi-digit whole numbers like this. So if you look at the standard algorithm, this is a strategy. Okay, that's all it is. It's just one way to multiply numbers that happens to be very efficient. So if I go 3 times 5 is 15, 3 times 2 is 6, that's 7, 3 times 3 is 9, 3 times 1 is 3, and I come over here and I go 2 times 5 is 10, carry the 1, 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5, 2 times 3 is 6, and 2 times 1 is 2. I add these numbers together, and that's 5 is 5, 7 is 7, 9 and 5 is 14, carry the 1, 3 and 1 is 4, plus 6 is 10, carry the 1, and this becomes 3. So then you put the comma, and your answer is 30,475. Fluently means quickly and accurately. The only way to really get good at that is to understand why we're multiplying the 3 times these numbers, to multiply the 2 times these numbers, and adding them up. Well, in fourth grade, you learned the strategies that explain why we do it that way. But just to be sure, I'll quickly describe the idea here is that all of these numbers that we're multiplying the ones place first. We're taking all of the ones, the 3 ones, and we're multiplying each of these place values, the ones, the tens, the hundreds, the thousands, times these 3 ones. So 5 ones times 3 ones. Well, that's 15 ones, which creates a 10 and 5 ones. 3 ones times 2 tens is 6 tens plus an extra 10 is 7 tens. 3 ones times 3 hundreds, well, that's going to create 9 hundreds, and so on and so forth, until you can then multiply this tens place times 5 ones is going to get 10 ones. So you put that 2 tens times 5 ones, that's going to end up being 10 tens. And so this is where the confusion really starts to set in, because in fourth grade, when you were learning strategies for multiplying place values 2 digits times 2 digits, you were taking the time to explain how you're now multiplying the tens place times the ones place, which gives you a certain number of tens. And now, when you multiply the tens times the tens, you're actually working with hundreds. And if you don't understand that this year, then you're going to have to either go back to the fourth grade strategies, learn to explain them, or memorize this process. 2 times 2 is 4, plus that extra 1 is 5. So 2 times 5 is 10. The 0 goes here. Why don't we put anything here? Because we are multiplying with tens. So 2 times 5 is 10, which means 20 times 5 is 100. You carry the 1, the 0 here, and you would need that extra 0 here. If you wanted to put that as a placeholder, you could. Okay, so you continue on down this path. There's a 5. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 1 is 2. And then you add up these two numbers. With the placeholder, 5 plus 0 is 5. 7 plus 0 is 7. And so on and so forth until you get your answer. Again, that is all we're learning how to do quickly and accurately. Oh, one more thing. I will add that occasionally, when it refers to multi-digit numbers, it may, at some point, ask you to multiply quite a few numbers, like 5 digits times 3 digits, in which case, just like it is up here, you would multiply the ones and write the ones on this line. You would then multiply the tens and put all of your responses for this digit, this place value, here, keeping a 0 here as a placeholder. And then, of course, the hundreds place, you would multiply and put the answers starting underneath that place with 2 zeros as placeholders, because you are multiplying with hundreds. And then you would add those digits up to get your final answer. So hopefully that makes sense, and that is a nice refresher for you as you continue to master 5.NBT.5.